All my grandparents, all I know is that they initially settled in Hartford, Connecticut, and there was, I'm told, a butcher shop in Hartford. And my mother was not born in Europe. She was born in Hartford and attended Hartford schools. And then at some point, I'm going to say somewhere in the 20s, what happened to the butcher shop, I don't know, but they moved to Great Barrington, at which point Sam Nager was a cattle dealer and a butcher. Then he would peddle that kosher meat throughout the Great Barrington area, Sandersfield. There was a period when we came from New York and we moved in with the Nagers. There was no question about where we were going to live because however big the Nager household was, you were there. And in the household was Nechama, Molly and Sal, and Rini. Rini was a teenager. Myself, a bratty kid of 6, and my mother and my father. We were all there. And, the meal times, there was, a lot of... Nechama used to do some cooking. She would make, I might have told you this before, she would make donuts that you had to eat within 15 minutes of being cooked, otherwise they turned to rock.
Souftanil. Yeah?
That's right. I don't know what she did to make those donuts. A glass and a ketchup top.
Were they good?
If you ate within the first 15 minutes, it was a warm, comfortable household. We were very crowded, but we didn't think we were crowded, but it was crowded. My father was in this country, having come to this country to be an engineer, and he gave up being an engineer and changed his course of studies to become a lawyer. But in those periods of time, he would teach Hebrew school because he was born in Israel and spoke Hebrew. And on one of those occasions, he got a job teaching Hebrew school in New Britain. And at that, he was hired by one of the Racklins. I don't know which one, but it was a Racklin, hired him. And actually, he was then put up and he was boarded with the Racklin family. And that's how he really became enmeshed in the family. At that same time, Anne Lippman, actually, who was then, I don't think she was married to Clarence Friedman at that time, was managing a dress shop in New Britain and running the dress shop. She gave my mother a job. So my mother was in New Britain, a young teenager, having graduated high school in Hartford, Connecticut, and met my father, and ergo, that was the beginning of their relationship. They got married in 1929. My father by then was a lawyer, and that was a warm and wonderful relationship. Lovely childhood, almost like Life magazine. I remember our household in Great Barrington was a center for all kinds of activities. All the cousins would come there, various cousins, sometimes 3 or 4 couples, sometimes 1 couple.